G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is the Mobster Gat pack. It is a weapon pack of 3 different weapons, one being the IMI Uzi, this one is the Browning High Power, otherwise known as the 9mm pistol from Fallout New Vegas. Do you guys remember Fallout New Vegas? This pistol was in it. They've also got the roller lock pistol here, which gives it a pretty generic name, but this is actually a CZ52, a Czechoslovakian pistol firing Soviet cartridges. Yep, that's right. This weapon mod contains 1 SMG and 2 pistols of varying effectiveness. That's really annoying in the corner, isn't it? I wish it'd go away. Okay, 1 reboot later, everything's running as smooth as butter. Let's start off with the Mobster SMG, which is an IMI Uzi. It is an Israeli submachine gun, originally developed around the 1940s, and then in service from 1956 to the present day. Very compact, very easy to use, pretty simple in terms of its operation, so it's reliable. Stood the test of time. Let's get into its attachments. First of all, we've got the receivers. We've got a standard receiver here, and there's also options for automatic. So Rifleman, Commando, this thing's got you covered. The advanced leader caps out 108 damage, which is pretty on the low side there. Look at that DPS is sitting just under 1,000, or not even close to 1,000, but the powerful auto will give you... That DPS is wrong. That can't be right. The rate of fire has jumped up way too high there, but gives you 87 damage per shot, which is pretty much on the very low side. I think that's like pipe gun spec, so you wouldn't expect this thing to be hitting super hard, but we can make it work. So we'll start this thing off with a powerful auto receiver, and you know that fire rate will shrink back down once we attach something else onto it. Probably not the barrels, but something. Barrel attachments are up next. We're starting off with the short barrel. You can have a light version of that. Same goes for the longer barrels. Will give you slightly better range. The light one gives you slightly better hipfire accuracy and slightly better stats than your standard versions. And you've also got a covert barrel here, which will give you a longer suppress barrel. Now, if you want to use a suppress with this thing, you can also go for a longer barrel, go down to the muzzle attachments and choose between all of these different other suppressors, which are replicated in the other ones. We won't talk about it too much here, but you'll see that we're only getting 107 range out of this thing with the suppressor and long barrel. So if we go over to a covert barrel, we'll get 125 range instead, which is going to be superior in terms of performance. Just makes it, we'll be able to target our enemies a little bit further out, and it holds onto its damage a little bit further as you're shooting. Next, we go over to the grips. You can have a standard grip here, you can have a folded stock, unfold it, or have a solid wood stock if you want to do any sniping with this thing, which for an advanced receiver, we might consider, but we'll go for a folded stock here because Uzis look cool, and it looks like they should with the stock folded up nicely there. Next, we've got the magazines. You can have standard, large, and extended, and quick eject versions of those things. So an extended quick eject magazine comes with a little bit of tape. That's not the only bit of tape on this thing. There's some tape back here. We'll get over that. We'll go over that one a little bit later, but there's an interesting story as to why that's there. Next, we've got the sights. You can have a standard sights, a ring sight, which will bring up the little ring at the back here, which will constrict your view a little bit, so it's a lot easier just to aim with the standard sights as they are right now. They've also got options for glowing versions of that, and there's also options for reflex sights. And some holographics, some laser sights if you feel like not aiming with anything at all, and there's also options for short scopes, recon scopes, and Gek Tech holo recon sights, which are so holographic that they're completely invisible. You can track targets with it though. That's pretty neat. It's pretty much like iron sights, right? But we get to track targets. Screw it, I'm doing that one. No, I won't. I'm going to go for a reflex sight. We'll go for this one, this micro holo tech. Looks like an eerie tech, so they're cool. Next, we've got a legendary effect provided by legendary modification. Skip that. Next, we've got laser sights. You can have different laser sights, compact or versions that are slightly larger, I guess. How compact do you need to get? Weirdly enough, the standard laser sights are less compact than the compact laser sights. You can have pink, green, or red on your beams. We'll go for a red one, and we'll move over to the next one. You can have materials. We'll change the material of the handguard and the pistol grip. Unfortunately, there's no yellow, so we'll have to choose the next best thing. We'll go for red on this thing, and now we can change the material of the receiver and pretty much everything else. So there's standard, aquatic, midnight, urban, winter, woodland, and desert, and pinkalicious. Very subtle. There's not a lot of vibrancy compared to the grip here, but yeah, they're kind of cool. We'll go for a winter material there because we're dressing up like a goth. That isn't winter, by the way. That's Lily. more on that one later. Anyways, that's our SMG, Mobster variant. Kind of wish it was yellow. Kind of weird colors going on. Honestly, to make the... maybe we could make the grip match the tape on the magazine, but no, then it wouldn't be matching the laser sight. Ugh, terrible. I've backed myself into a corner here. We can only hope that the EOTech reticle is red. So we got way more red than blue. Terrible colors, don't mix those. Next up is our Browning High Power. This thing is your Fallout New Vegas 9mm pistol. So yeah, a little bit of nostalgia there for you. Probably not. You're only using this thing for about 5 minutes before you move on to a varmint rifle. But it's got some modifications. Let's look into it. First of all, we've got the receivers. This thing can only be modified in semi-auto form. So an advanced receiver is what we'll use for highest damage. 87 damage per shot with a DPS of 875. Fire rate 99, which is deceptive because this thing can fire as fast as you can pull the trigger. Just think about the implications of that when using it in, say, Jet or VAFs. This thing's DPS is a lot higher than what this number is showing. I bet you didn't expect this one to be the most effective weapon in the mod, but here we are. So let's make it better. First of all, we've got the barrels. Actually, second of all, we've already done the receivers. So we'll extend the damage range out a little bit with the extended barrel there, which apparently is standard. Interesting. We've also got a little bit of extra accuracy out of that. Not too much. Nothing to write home about. So we'll move on. Now onto the grips. Like your standard 10mm pistol, you've got comfort and sharpshooter's grip modifications. But this one also comes with a survivor grip, which gives you like a pistol stock. So now it's like a carbine setup for this thing. It gives you better recoil control and hipfire accuracy, which is strange. You'll still be, pistol animations, but it's good for recoil control. Bit of a counterweight there, I suppose. And now we can go over to the magazines. You can have standard, large, and quick eject versions of those. So we'll throw on a large quick eject mag and move over to the sights. You can have standard sights, glow sights, and ghost sights, which are glow sights but white, the same as you see here. And you've also got options for lots of reflex sights, including this one at the bottom, which is a professional combat sight. We'll use that one because it's the biggest and the scopiest, because you could use a scope on a Browning High Power back in Fallout New Vegas for some baffling reason. I was hoping that sight would actually show up here, but unfortunately it hasn't. We'll just go for a scope-like reflex sight, and we'll move on from that. Muzzle time. You get options for a spike break, which is your standard vanilla game pipe gun attachment there. What's that doing there? That doesn't fit. You've also got a budget suppressor, which, like the pipe guns again, oil filter suppressor. You've wrapped some tape around it so you can hold on to it without burning your hand, I suppose. But if you try to use this thing with iron sights, well, you're not going to see that much. So it's kind of a cool wasteland modification, but you can do better than that. There's also options for compensators, muzzle brakes, adaptive suppressors, night suppressors, and elite suppressors, which have the best stats on these elite ones, so you ought to use them. The difference here is just basically range, to be honest, and looks, I suppose. The adaptive one looks a lot like what you get out of a 10mm pistol, and the vanilla game suppressor looks a little bit smaller, a little bit cleaner, but if you've got a big sight like me that has a little bit of a riser to it, then you can completely clear the elite suppressor with this one. So there you go. In fact, it looks like the stats are the exact same for the adaptive suppressor, down to the decimal points, and also damage bonuses. Interesting, but there you go. Next up, we've got the legendary effect skip, and we go over to the laser sights. You can have laser sights in red, green, or pink. We'll go for a green one on this occasion, and you can change the material on this. So we've got standard, alternative dark, or worn material, which gives it a nice little black coating. Now it's a proper stealth weapon. Look at that. No one's seeing that one in the dark. You wouldn't want to leave that on your leather couch so you'd never see it. Lastly, we've got the roller lock pistol, which is basically your deliverer spec pistol, but with that Soviet Timu bought twist. It doesn't do it quite as well as a deliverer, but it tries. Also worth mentioning, you need the munitions mod. This one uses the 7.62 Tokarev rounds, which, they originally designed this thing to fire the same 9mm pistol rounds that the Browning High Power fires, but, Stalin probably wasn't happy about that. He goes, "You must use the Soviet rounds, comrade. I will cut your head off," or something like that. So, yeah, I may have called this thing the CZ57. That's actually the Avenger minigun from Fallout New Vegas. It's actually the CZ52. You can't blame me for that one. The weapons basically look the same, don't they? But enough about that. Let's get into the attachments. First of all, we've got the receivers, and just like the Browning High Power, this thing can only be in semi-auto form. So we'll go for the advanced receiver, starting off with 99 damage, which is a little bit better. And we can extend that range out a little bit with the extended barrel for 179 range, which is great, but we're going to put a suppressor on this thing so it doesn't clear it for range yet. And we'll go for a sharpshooter's grip for better recoil and hipfire accuracy. Pretty much the same as a deliver or 10mm pistol. And a large quick ejector mag to make it fire more bullets between reloads and reload a little bit quicker. Next, we've got the sights. You've got standard sights as we've got right now, glow sights, which are green glowy ones, or ghost sights, which are white glowy ones. The glow ones, the little green ones, have a slightly better contrast, so I tend to prefer those things. Next, we've got the muzzles. You can have a compensator, muzzle brake, or adaptive suppressor. There you go. There's finally got the suppressor. 139 damage, which is pretty nice. I believe that's an Osprey suppressor, right? I've seen that before on COD guns, and now I've got a legendary effect. Skip and go over to laser sights. So let's put a pink one on this thing. Next, we've got the Tokarev ammo kit. You can change this thing to be chambered in 9mm, but you lose a bit of armor penetration if you do that. So we'll keep the armor penetration from the Tokarev rounds, and that's pretty much it. Let's go get the uniques. We'll find them out in the world and we'll start shooting. So I'm here at Clears. I found the Mobster SMG, a high power, and a roller lock. So you'll find the Mobster SMG at level 15 in vendors, triggermen, gunners, minutemen, raider operators, and legendaries. The Browning can be found at level 5, so it's a low level weapon. Triggermen, gunners, minutemen, legendaries, and the roller lock can be found on minutemen, raider disciples, legendaries, and vendors at level 12. A little bit of variety there, but that's where you get them. Let's go over to the uniques. Thank you. Yes. The first unique can be found within Haymarket Mall, which is at very top of Boston. There it is. You've got the Faneuil Hall there. There's USS Constitution, Old North Church, and Cabot House for reference. Right there. There's some raiders outside. Don't worry. They'll let you know that they're there. So what you want to do is enter this place. You can be as stealthy as you like. You don't have to actually kill anyone, but dispatch anyone who gets in your way and make a beeline for this elevator. You can explore this place in your own time, but I'll just show you how to get the gun. Once you get up here, you've got an option. You can either unlock a novice lock or let the robots and the raiders fight. Look out for ceiling turrets, of course, because once you go over this room, this is where you want to be. A pair of Protectrons and their stations, they would have just gotten out of it. They've killed the raiders, fixed them up, and then you'll find Mole Ninja on the ground here, which is pretty much the exact same way I've modified it to be. Okay, well, we might have to rethink this, but it's got the nimble legendary effect, which is kind of cool. So we'll tinker with that thing, or maybe we'll change its role, but yeah, that's where one of the uniques is. Nimble, not the best legendary effect, but whatever, you'll take it, won't it? It's something. The next unique is located within a building that is on screen right now, the tallest one. So what we got to do is go into the Quincy Church. We've turned the lights off because this is a super stealthy mission, because I know there's a robot inside here and I want to mess with it. So we'll quickly go over here and dispatch all of our foes from afar. Do this as quickly and quietly as possible, because once we get in here, well, it's time to quickly exfiltrate. Mr. Missile Launcher saw me for a second, but don't worry, the stealth is still on. So we'll go down this spiraling little staircase here and go over to this pistol, our other Browning high power, and now we're detected. Well, that's fun. So we'll quickly grab Santa Dad. Here it is. It's Maria again. Do you remember Maria from Fallout New Vegas? Yeah, it's got the lucky legendary effect, calibrated receiver with cool engraving, and then there's a person on there. Don't recognize that, but I'm sure someone will. Time for me to relocate. Note the little bit of duct tape just behind the rear sights, and I'll just give you the mouse pointer and console commands. I'll activate that. That's where it is. The reason that's there is because when Diacuda was making this, he had an EMB, a particular EMB that basically shone light in his eye. The sunlight was being reflected from that surface directly into his eyes. So what does he do? He just throws a bit of tape over it. Job done. That's it. That's the story behind it. I just think that's awesome. Alrighty, so here we are outside of Immersive Gunners Plaza. For some reason, the CZ52 doesn't have any unique variants, but what can you do? So as these crows roll in, let's hit them up a little bit. Shoot them out from the sky. Never mind, they're too tricky for me. Their cloaking equipment has led them to be basically invisible to the naked eye. But that's what it looks like in third person, and its reload animation, of course. looks pretty good. And in third person, that's what it looks like, with a reload animation to go along with it as well, which is pretty much the same, but in third person, so that's cool, attention to detail. Here is the Browning high power with the same one with the stock there, which you don't use because you're using the standard pistol animations, but it's there for recoil control. If the weapon didn't jump up in your face every time you shot it, then it would be a pretty stable weapon, so you can always use this thing in third person to just get rid of that all recoil animation in the first person, and you can be as precise and as rapid as you want. Here is the Tokarev shooting deliverer thing. Deliver from Temu. Has different sounds. Similar reload animations, but different sounds. And then we go over to the uniques now. This is the Mob Boss semi-automatic with a recon scope for sniper knockdowns. And this is Maria's sister, but I put the Maria grip back, so technically it is Maria. See that? You can just see it under there. I've kept the barrel short, kept the suppressor off. That is very similar to the sound that it makes in Fallout New Vegas. I wouldn't be surprised if it's literally the same, but there you go. And then you've got this one. This one is a Uzi, but I've given it the recon scope thing with iron sights, the holographic. I've also given it the rapid receiver. Could have given it the rapid legendary effect to make its rate of fire even further, but I feel like that's what you want out of an Uzi, just rapid firing. And lastly, you've got the roller without the suppressor, which sounds like that. Pretty cool. Anyway, so it looks like I haven't disturbed the gunners from all my shooting, so we'll move in and we'll begin blasting. We'll start off with our sniper Uzi, and we'll see how we go. Probably a good idea to light up everyone with the recon capabilities before we do anything. Or maybe I could use VAFs a little bit. A little bit of spread to fight against, but we don't expect this thing to be a precision weapon from this far back, so we'll let it slide. Remember, she's only a level 15 weapon, so we can't expect it to be endgame spec, but that's not going to mean that I'm not going to try to push it to its very limits. I see you there. See if we can get a big gun foo streak going on. Not happening. But so far so good. If we go over to my automatic one now, see if we can't get them with a slightly higher DPS as they crawl into this weapon's more effective range. That's doing pretty well so far. Okay, pistol time, baby. This thing's fast. Very, very fast indeed. That could be the distraction I need to get my AP back. Look at the difference between damage when I'm not sneaking. He's still going. This is about the longest he's ever survived. Still going. He's crippled a little bit. He's not having a good day out there. Damn, I wish I could help you, but that was a pretty decent hit. We'll just get him with the chip damage. You know what? Screw you. You've survived for way too long. I want my sneak criticals back. And we've gotten ourselves a level up after all that, which is funny. And I'm pretty sure there was one guy who was over here, right? Right? I don't know. We've got decent hip fire accuracy with this thing, so even at this range, we're good to just spam on the trigger. And we could probably get headshots as well. Yep, that worked pretty well. Alright, let's go over to this one. A little bit extra damage, a little bit of armor penetration, less ammo capacity. But it does feel like we're hitting for that little bit extra hardness, a little bit extra harder, a little bit harder. So that's doing well for us. Nice shades. They are obviously tanking it up a little bit though, but that's just normal gunner behavior, that's fine. That man looked a little bit like Kellogg, do you see that? Give it to me. There we go. One of the strengths of this weapon is probably going to be its ability to be flogged a little bit in VAFs and the crits that you get. I'm getting auto crits now, so we'll make them count. We'll go for headshots. That was pretty good. Let's go over to our next version. Maria. Crits away. This thing should be really good in VAFs, actually. I've got a shorter barrel on it, means more shots in VATs, and its crits will do double the damage, which did pretty well there. We actually got our crit out to double the shots there, which is kind of funny. There we go. Mysterious Stranger making himself kind of useful again. We could use this thing a little bit in VATs. I don't have much AP left, but we've got some, so let's use them. If I marry this lucky effect to some sneak critical multipliers, I feel like this will be a much more formidable weapon, but we've got to have it like the normal Maria from New Vegas, right? Okay, let's go over to Rapid Uzi now. By sheer weight of bullet DPS, we can dispatch these guys pretty fast, but ammo expenditure isn't going to be very pretty. We all know what Israelis are like with expenditure. So, yeah. Probably a little bit wasteful, but it does feel satisfying firing a rapid SMG, such as this. I do think, by default, the rate of fire on this thing is far too slow. Like, come on, this? We can do better than that. There we go. Although, we did manage to get them nice and staggered for a pretty decently long period, so there's benefits to its rate of fire, I guess. Some of those shots could have been wasted mid-stagger, and, yeah, you know, not allowing me to stagger quite so effectively again. So maybe the timing here is actually pretty good, but there's just something inherently satisfying about a rapid-fire spray and pray SMG. So, see, they made the unique SMG like that in this game. Alright, so I think you get the idea, and as you'd expect, this thing works with classic holstered weapons, so it's a good apparel item as well. Goes well with the gothic outfit. Not really. This is Vitor Wardrobe 10, by the way. Patreon only until full release. I didn't show off the boots of the outfit before, but V12 Wardrobe 10 has little goth booties like that. That's something that Winter would wear. That is premium Hot Topic apparel right there. Get it while it's hot because, well, you'll just wait for it until it comes out for free. Anyway, so here's the plan. We're going to shoot the Swan as many times as possible and see what we can do. Now, has he got friends with him down there? He does. Interesting. We might better use that little bit of gun food to our advantage there. Lose 4 shots, but gain how much more damage? Who knows? Not much. Maybe we'll take out that. Damn it, I was hoping for a Grim Reaper sprint roll there. Wasn't meant to be in the end, but that's okay. He's coming now, and we should be getting our measure of damage pretty soon. We should probably play Ring Around the Rosie here. Although, that Super Mutant has run off down there. He may have aggroed something else. There we go. Now we're getting this thing's full measure of damage, and he's none the wiser to where I am. Death by mosquito bites. Lovely. That's a cheap way to do it, isn't it? Can't be doing that all the time, though. We'll go for some super stealthy attacks. Nope, and he saw that one coming. Well, that's okay. We did a lot of good damage there pretty quickly, so we'll keep going with this pistol approach. Oh, it's a Feral Ghoul Reaver. Well, Grim Reaper sprint, yes. Bring it on. Oh, Mysterious Stranger as well. Let's keep him distracted. See if we can do some damage this time. I think he missed. The Mysterious Stranger actually missed. Good job. Why would you run directly up to him? What was the purpose of that? What are you trying to achieve? Who knows? Alright, let's hit him up in VATs. Look at all those shots. That's like Deliver Spec. This thing isn't even VATs enhanced, by the way. The fact that it uses that little AP to shoot, yet still goes through that much, or just I'm able to go through it that fast just with regular VATs. I should probably mention that I've got a couple of bits of VATs enhanced gear on as well, just so I can really put the pain into him when using it in VATs. Seems to be working out pretty well so far. I don't think I've got the usual defense stats that I usually have. So I should probably keep away from his rock attacks because they hurt. Alright. Let's get some of these crits back, shall we? We've actually maxed it out with about, I don't know, 30 AP left. Bring on. There we go. And we use the rest of our AP to spam his face full of bullets. Okay, Mysterious Stranger out again. He immediately gets completely destroyed and whacked. So now we sneak. It appears he has developed object permanence. That might be difficult to unprogram. Slipping out of danger now. We might be able to finish this off exactly the way we started it. Nope. He's on the money this time. His plan is to stand there and take it, though. Like a Skyrim mammoth stuck in some scenery. That is going to hurt when it comes down, so let's get some VATS defense on that. Wait, that even hit me? He was miles off, right? Oh, look, regular old Mysterious Stranger. I'll take it. I'd rather be, like, moving around than evading, but whatever. Pretty much used all the crits in the book on this guy. Like, there's not much else I can pull out of the rabbit hat here. Oh, except for that. I don't think I can win the DPS war here at this stage. It's going to be a close photo finish, but unless I do that fairly consistently, then I'm not going to have much of a chance here. Luckily, he's timed it politely between reloads, of course. That's definitely helpful. Mysterious Stranger again. He might get the kill here. No? There we go. Okay, that was a long and arduous process, but the job is done. He is dead. After all that effort, what do you reckon I've got for my troubles? A duelist Chinese officer sword. Yeah, there's a reason I don't get typically excited about legendary drops in Fallout games. They're never going to be good. Unless they are. Okay, looks like Mr. Ghoul's made some insectoid friends down there, so let's try to hit him up. Oops, we've got to aim a little bit below our reticule there because of the range. And there's a vertibird coming in. I wonder if he's going to kick up a stink about the giant ghoul over there. There we go. He might teleport away, but that's fine. That bug's decided to retreat. Not on my watch, mate. They're smart, the mosquitoes, though, going across the water where they know the ghoul won't chase them. Unfortunately, they're still susceptible to being knocked down, so we'll take advantage of that. I think at this stage they can see where I am. At least the insects can. The insect faction is definitely clued in, but if Mr. Ghoul over there knew where I was, he'd be coming over. Can't even hit him with VATS. Can't even let the game aim for me. There it is. Okay. Technically in caution now, but looks like it's still going. So what I'll do, I'll go over to my automatic one and see if we can get some bullets down range here. And if he gets close enough, double crit. And hopefully concentrated fire carries the damage through. That's pretty good. Unfortunately, all good things must come to an end, like the Mysterious Stranger's life in this occasion. Oh, nope, he's dodging by standing there and not doing much. If we can get a cheap little stagger on him, that would be useful. The more shots the Mysterious Stranger gets... he got a couple in there. I don't know if all of them hit. There he is again. I was just about to comment about how friendly we've been to the Mysterious Stranger this episode, apart from that first encounter. He is missing a lot of shots. What's wrong? You turn up to work drunk today? Don't feel like? Are you a secret traitor? Is that what you are? Might be, you know. Okay, I'm gonna put a stop to your madness. Sit down. There it is. There's the backflip. And now I can just shoot him in the head over and over. Way easier to hit a non-moving target. It's a proper Palpatine jump right there. There we go. Okay, job's done. We're getting through it, but we're struggling. I am glad we've got suppressors, though, because that is definitely speeding up the encounters here. But now, let's turn the lights out and do this, like, proper stealth night ops, because we keep getting spotted here. We'll do it fast. Okay, normally this Mirelurk King is fairly perceptive, but if we can keep our distance, hopefully not too far, we can do a pretty good job here. So let's hit him up. Now, if he comes running this way, we can back off. Ooh, double crits. Couldn't capitalize, unfortunately. We can go up here. What's he gonna do? No way he's getting close enough to hit me. He's gonna try, though. He'll get fairly close. Is he aggroed? Has he detected something else? We're getting decent damage on the headshots. There we go. We got crits of 500 just now, which is massive. Unfortunately, Operation Stealth Goth Lily is not going very well. That's okay. That Mysterious Stranger is going to upend my damage a little bit here, but I'll take it. He doesn't seem to miss a gigantic target like that. Almost 900 damage at a ping there. Very good. And now we must wage war, guerrilla warfare style. As soon as he gets close, we back off, and the whole thing starts all over again. Okay, I thought he would have already mutated at this point, but that's okay. We've got a full AP bar. We can live in hope that Concentrated Fire will do me well here. Not getting through that. One cheap stagger away. Okay. One more good VATS run. We might be able to see this guy getting the 500s again. Almost getting 600 there. There we go. We've cracked 600s there. That's pretty good. Okay. I'm okay with this. We can survive the last of this guy's wrath, surely. If we do get another Mysterious Stranger, he might actually finish the job for me again. Ouch. That is proper nerd rage right there. He's almost one-shot me. As it turns out, goth boots don't make for good armor. Anyways, so that there was the Mobster Gat pack. Gat means, it's just slang for open bolt SMG firearms. The Uzi you could describe as a Gat, but yeah, it's pretty good. Obviously, we're punching way above its weight here, but it's still done pretty good. You can sort of get away with it if you've got an automatic weapon with a suppressor. And of course, ballistic damage. It sort of actually does the amount that it says that it's going to do because it's not bugged. So you can do pretty good with it. But yeah, as soon as you hit like level 50, 60 and other more powerful weapons start showing up, you could probably do much better with those. But if you are playing on a lesser difficulty, of course, you could always keep these weapons around. You might find they have a little bit better longevity than what you are seeing in this video. But it did a pretty good job. Stealth hits were pretty nice, and being able to capitalize it on VATS, I think, did pretty well there. So if you want to see this weapon in your game, check out the link in the description. It'll be down there. Thank you very much for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. Goth Nina, maybe? No.